Good morning. Letting the truck warm up. It's that day I've been waiting on. Not sure if you've been waiting on it. It's glass day. It's also 50 degrees outside and there's no windshield. This is going to be great. Nope. Well, hello there. It's after school time, and now it's time for real school. Got the glass installed. That was flippin' annoying. It's 36 degrees, my beard froze, all the things. I had tears in my eyes because the wind was blowing into them, and then those froze, and then they made little icicles that went into my beard, and I was just, sitting in my depression and frustration trying to get this thing in. It was fun. But now we have a windshield. So the next thing we're going to work on today is going to be the front brakes. I've got pads, and we're going to turn the rotors a little bit and see what else we got time for. You ready? Yay. Check the other one, make sure it's free. Yeah. I don't know what the real man put that on before, so it may be bigger than, more torque than what my deal can take off. Let's try. See everything is it?
How do you like your office chair?
Remember, we have tight bolts. You can either use a longer breaker bar or something like that to get length on it, or you can do this like a. What I'm doing is giving it some shock. See how it moves a little bit? Just breaking that shock through. So now you should be able to loosen it like. Yeah. Oh, that. That. This is going to look like it. Come out towards you. They got a little bit of life left on them. That piston is out. Yeah. That is the perfect width, as you saw, to put two pads that size over that. But our pads are thicker than that, right? So you need to compress that piston in. Oh yeah, you're actually using brake cleaners for your brake cleaner for your brakes. Make sure you don't have any oils in this. That pin slides through this, right? This whole assembly is supposed to be sliding on there so that your whole brake caliper floats, slides back and forth. Well, if it does not, then it binds and pulls to the side and all that kind of stuff. So you put some lube rubber thing at the bottom of this. It gives it tension. Now you see how with a little bit of lube and cleaning it, see how that slides freely back and forth? That's what you want to see. Is this whole, so there is brake lubricant, but you don't put them on your brakes, like the pads and stuff. You put little bits. Like watch, like this little bit on my finger, and I'm going to put it on the points where it's going to rub. Right? So here and here. Okay. Or you can put it on the deal itself. Some different brake pads on different cars have a little sheet metal shim, they call it, and you put lube on those. And on the other side, I'll show you this plate here, and right here in the middle, you see how it's kind of bent down a little bit, is where that round piston is going to ride. So you want a little bit of lube on that, where it's going to, that piston is going to ride. Otherwise, when it goes to apply, you're going to have a chattering noise. Put some on there. What's that? That tells you when your pads are dead. See how it's set to a certain height? At a certain height, you won't hear brakes anymore. You'll hear this annoying squeaking sound. That's what this does. That lets you know, hey dummy, you're getting low on pad. You probably should change that. And it reminds you every time. Put it the floor. Pinch your feet in on the sides. You can literally roll this up on one foot and put the other one under it, and you can scoot your feet in and jam it up on there. So you can just slide a little bit to the left or the right. Now you see you gotta spin that a little bit, right? So if you spin it by rotating on your feet here, and move your feet around a little bit. And you should be able to walk forward with your feet. Lift it up more. So that's stuck in there. And now you can take one lug nut. Okay. Of where you're at with your threads. See how I move? Shot. Break it in two right there. We've got 3 new studs on it, huh? Hang it first. Yep. He's single, girls. Right on there the first time. There you go. What'd you do?
Put brake pads on the
Truck.
Yes.
Is that fun?
No.
No. That is what we call required maintenance. Things that have to happen. Now you know how to do that.
Yep.
All right. Well, hello there. We're back at it again on the black truck today. Boy's home from school and we're starting wrench time. Got him under the back of the truck This truck came with a what I think is a 3.5 drop kit. So it's a flip kit in the rear and some sort of execution of drop springs in the front with some of those little hold 'em up square thingies. I don't know what you call them. It was too low in the front, I guess, and they tried to lift up the drop spring a little bit. They did get a kit, and the kit looks like it had drop shocks. I'm not a fan of drop shocks. I don't know, reasons. I just am. In my opinion, the proper shock is the shock that's valved for the vehicle and has the proper extended and compressed lengths. If you shorten that, usually if you spec your shock out right, you're still within the travel limits. This only has what I'm looking like 2 or 3 inches up front, and the flip kit in the rear, if you get shock extenders, it's the same as if you have it in the factory spot. So I got some cheap shock extenders. I think it were eBay or something. They're like 20 bucks. And the correct factory shocks for this application, which is going to be huge. No more going over railroad tracks or bridges or anything, and it just kind of does this number. So proper valve shocks, proper length shocks, and we're going to get this rear end dialed in. So he's working on that now. And from the noises, I think those bolts are pretty tight. So shock extenders, fun fact, you do have to drill one of the holes in the shock mount on the housing so that that bolt will go through. I did that on both sides for him, so that's done, and then I bolted one of the extenders on, so now he's gonna get the shock in there.
Piece of plastic around it.
No, you're compressing it. That plastic is keeping it from coming down more. So that plastic is your friend for now. Once you get it in there, you can cut the plastic and pull it out. If you take the plastic off, it'll go down like another 5 inches. So then you're fighting it more. So don't slide that plastic off the side. Well, the shocks are on, and trying to keep that PG rating, so I did not film portions of that. I don't know, something happened when they put the shocks on and there's like all kinds of mismatched hardware on there. That drives me bonkers. I just can't stand it. I get all my tools, I get under there, figure out what sizes I need, and then I roll my big old self over and everything's different. Hate it. So I used the supplied hardware that came with the shocks. So for me or the next guy that does this, everything is the same. So those are on, and he's gonna get this thing dropped down and, oh wow, hey, get your arms out. Turn around. Whatever I need to do an oil change, I'll just wring them out. We can just dump it right in the engine. So if you're wondering why I did this, I can kind of try and show you here. This is the shock that was on there. I'm gonna give it a little bit of pressure, not a whole lot. And it's moderately resistive, but not really. Not a lot that, this big booty truck is gonna get dampened at all by these. I'm sure that if you did some things with the air and stuff that you might be able to make stuff happen, but that means that's an adjustable spring rate, and I don't like that. So that's where that's going. I got the Monroe gas adjust shocks. I'll throw the part number down there. There's a spring deal right now on Amazon. I'm an Amazon freak because they got good return shippings, but I'll throw my link down there and maybe you'll get yourself a deal on some shocks too, or some other things. They're doing a sale right now. Anyway, he's gonna get this thing down, and you got it down? Down?
No, it's out.
Jack stands are out? Way better, shocking. Just don't jump on the rust spot, you might go through.
Where's that, right here?
I'm just joking, dude. Does it feel more betters?
More better. Yes, it feels better.
What do you think about changing shocks?
That was annoying.
Annoying. Why?
Way too much work for nothing that hard.
What?
Way too much work for nothing that hard.
For nothing that hard. All right. We're both greasy, dirty, and I'm flipping starving. I'm going to go in and get some food. So what did we get done on this video?
The brakes and the shocks.
Brakes and shocks. Stop and go. Maybe. Well, that's all we got for this video. As always, we appreciate you watching. And he's having a blast while we learn this stuff together. And we got plenty of more stuff headed your way soon. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Goodbye.